Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Chrono Trigger. I am Mega Freak 400, and in this episode, we're not actually going to make that much progress, unfortunately. I'm actually going to get a little further in Tyranno later, but as you will see, I will be doing some other stuff. We'll get to that later. But I do want to first thank everyone who sent in rant topics via PM thus far. It's only been a day, of course, since I asked for them, but and keep sending them in, don't worry. You know, it doesn't even have to be like a right now thing. It can just be whenever, like a constant thing throughout ever. Because you know they've been helpful. They've helped me think up ideas, and they've been good at jump starting rant topics. So anyway, Kino is in a cage, and his button is not working. So, but luckily we have Azala, and she's not one to let her boyfriend rot in prison. So she will break in and save him. Oh, but man, it's been hot lately. It's been really really hot. I mean, the whole East Coast has been pretty hot in general. I'm sure it's not just New York. It's been like, you know, a lot of places it's been really hot. But and a lot of it's the humidity. But I don't know how some people can stand. Like some people enjoy the heat a lot, and you know, that's fine. You know, I just it baffles me to an extent because I just feel like crap whenever it's really hot out. Not that I like to be frozen either, but I do like it when it's cool, and Azala just broke through the bars. Do. Azala strong, no lose. Kino understand and show you wait, no. Say that for later after we leave. Marley and Chrono don't need to see that, Kino. So anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna get a ton of progress in this video. It's not something I wanted to do, it's just what happened. The Tyranno Castle really isn't that long of a dungeon, but what happened was Azala knows a tech. She learns a tech called Charm, right? Charm is what allows you to steal items from enemies, and you can get some good weapons, but you can also get some magic tabs. And the boss of Tyranno Castle, you can get 2 tabs from charming. So I wanted to boost up my tech points to learn Charm. I didn't, so I spent basically 40 minutes. 40 minutes of footage was cut, or there's a good 40 minutes of me just leveling up. So here's all the level ups and any techs I learned in the progress. So this is good because it kind of caught me up on some of the techs I didn't learn from like Marley or like Chrono, or not Chrono, but like some of the characters I hadn't used a lot. And yeah, I was fighting News, and those took forever because I just like basically wandered around and I couldn't find them. But yeah, I didn't learn Charm yet, but I have enough that I can learn it. I will end up learning it before the boss. But that was my thing, is I wanted to learn Charm. And then I got really close. As you'll see, I got really close to getting to level 29. And after I get past once I get to level 30, well, Spekkio will change his forms again. And I haven't fought Spekkio, so yeah, I go off to fight Spekkio. Now, interesting thing, if you do the fight at this point, you're forced to use Azala, right? Because you're doing the Tyranno Castle. So you have to use Azala, but she can't damage Spekkio at all because she doesn't have magic. So I used her mostly for a healer, which wasn't a bad thing with Spekkio. The last time I tried to fight him, I tried to fight him with everyone doing magic to him, and occasionally healing if need be. But you almost want to have 2 magic people and 1 person just designated for healing, so actually Azala's not really bad, especially since she does have somewhat of a good defense. Also, Robo is good, or if you, again, I have the silver earring attached to Robo, you could also attach it to Azala or something and have them just... I mean, with Robo, he has an actual healing move. Like, Azala has to... Well, she has Kiss, but, actually, all the characters have healing moves for the most part. Or at least somewhat. Most of them. I think there's a few that don't. I think Chrono technically doesn't have a healing move, but he does have a move that does something. But anyway, on to, well, this is gonna take a while, so, music. I've talked a lot about music, but, I'm gonna talk about epic music. Now, I really love, Galaxy 2's soundtrack. I think a lot of people like Galaxy 2's soundtrack, but one of the biggest complaints I've heard about it, and I have heard complaints, is that it's almost like it's always in the opening credits. It's almost always in the swell. It's always epic, basically. And for most people, that's not a problem. Gamers typically like epic music. People, you know, they like epic music. They like like this dramatic, awesome music. They like awesome music, which is fine. You know, it's fine to like this epic music, but sometimes you want to, you know, bring it down a notch. You want to, you know, you don't always. I guess the best way to explain this with an example. In my opinion, Diddy Kong or Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest, the soundtrack is fantastic, but I think it almost is overrated in the sense that it overlaps the other two because it has an epic soundtrack. Now others could argue, no, the soundtrack is balanced, but I'm gonna disagree. Because compare three songs, and again, this isn't a 100% fair comparison, but compare like three songs from the game. The water theme, for example, the water theme from Donkey Kong Country. You have you know, a calming, nice, calm song. It's not an epic calm. I mean, that's the thing, like, Bramble Blast, you might argue from Donkey Kong 2 that that's calm, that's not epic music. But listen to it, it might be calm, yeah, but that's not the same thing as it being epic. It's calm, but the way it's presented is in an epic, this is epic, you know, it's an epic fashion. It's hard to, I'm having a hard time explaining. But, compare, you know, that calm to the calm from Donkey Kong Country, the, aquatic ambience, that music is, I wouldn't say necessarily epic, but people like it too, but I wouldn't necessarily call it epic. Compare that to Lockjaw's Saga, technically the water theme from Donkey Kong Country 2. That's obviously epic, and it makes sense. It makes sense that Donkey Kong Country 2's soundtrack is more epic because the theme of the game, the pirate theme, the adventure theme, is somewhat epic. So it's not like it doesn't fit with the game, but to say that it's not epic, I don't think is a fair thing to say because the game itself is epic. So, yeah, it fits with the game, but the game itself is epic. And then you have Donkey Kong Country 3's water theme, which is kind of mysterious and dark. And again, I guess what I'm saying with epic is, you have these songs that are almost overly, you know, over the top and don't really fit with the environment and are just done to sound great. Now, again, Donkey Kong Country 2 doesn't do that, but the music set is epic, and the fact the game is epic, it matches, right? So that's a good example of epic music matching epic situations. Galaxy 2, I can agree, some songs don't necessarily always fit. I don't think that's always the case, but I can see why some people think that. Now here, if you press these buttons, the enemies, you want to fight them, but they'll be thrown in a pit, so as you will see pretty soon, if you fall down into that pit later, you will have to fight them anyway. So, yeah, I think the, environment, like, okay, for example, I've seen people say that Donkey Kong Country 3 soundtrack, is very boring to them. It's not necessarily epic. But I would argue that, okay, it's not necessarily epic, but all of these songs in the game fit the environment. At least in my opinion. People say, oh, it's not fitting. I don't know. I have to disagree. I think everything fits. I find it odd, and again, it's from perspective, but I find it odd when people say, and I've been on this forever. I mean, anyone who's watched my videos knows I've ranted about this for like decades. Not decades, because I haven't been on YouTube for decades, but for a long time. You have the Game Boy Advance soundtrack, and I just don't see any of that music fitting at all. And maybe it's just because I'm an artist. I'm not talking just because I'm used to the old ones. The colors used in the environments don't match the mood that is being displayed in the Game Boy Advance's song. And if it does, and maybe in some instances it does, but I don't think it always does. And the big glaring example is Ripsaw Rage with the treetop music. It's happy-go-lucky. I don't care if you think that the normal treetop music fits it. Okay, I can see that, but I don't know how. I personally don't know how you can think that a giant saw chasing you equals happy-go-luckiness. Maybe someone does think that, but I honestly don't get that. That's just, you know, I'm baffled by that. And, you know, I guess that's the thing, is that, I guess the point of this is, I think that epic music is great. Epic music sounds great. But, if it's just epic and it's not matching, you know, the environment the game is in, you know, I think in that sense, songs like that get overrated. They get praised, and they might not always match the situation. They get praised for something that I don't think, you know, they might be a great song, but they're not. It doesn't match the situation. It doesn't match what it's being used for, and because of that, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a failure of a song, but it doesn't fit. And I think songs that fit and also succeed in being great songs are better because they succeeded in, you know, fitting the situation and also being great. And which could be a challenge to have a song fit a situation. And that's why, you know, I like Donkey Kong Country 3's soundtrack because it fits a lot of situations. Though so does Donkey Kong Country 2. But this is about all the time I have, so this has been Maker 400 reminding you that pie is delicious. Again.